fits your home. Give us a call at 402-590-5800 or visit us online at doorsplusllc.com. Doors Plus, garage doors and more.
Rosie Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road.
General Fire and Safety has been keeping Lincoln businesses and commercial structures safe for more than 50 years. From a simple fire extinguisher to full fire suppression systems, Lincoln has trusted General Fire and Safety to provide top-of-the-line products, installation, and maintenance. If you're starting a new business in a brand new building, call on General Fire and Safety to help you plan a fire safety system that fits the specific needs of your business, employees, and customers. Call General Fire and Safety today at 402-261-0116.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, fog and drizzle expected throughout the day. Otherwise, cloudy skies with a high around 47. Tonight, mainly clear, but patchy fog possible, a low near 30. And tomorrow, patchy fog in the morning and mainly sunny for the afternoon. We'll see a high around 52. I'm meteorologist Kyle Fletcher from 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Attention all wing fans! Buffalo Wings and Rings has daily specials that will make you want to stop in on all days of the week. Kids eat free on Mondays, and on Tuesdays, enjoy 89-cent boneless or traditional wings at a price that makes the whole family happy. And come back on Wednesdays for $1.29 chicken tenders all day long. Get to Wings and Rings today at 68th and O or in Williamsburg Village.
Looking to upgrade your equipment? Landmark Implement, your John Deere dealer in Nebraska and northern Kansas, has an offer you don't want to miss. Through December, purchase a model year 2022, 23, or 24 tractor, combine, or sprayer, and take advantage of financing as low as 3.9 for 60 months. That's right. Get the equipment you need with affordable payments designed to keep your operation running strong. Stop by your local Landmark Implement today or visit landmarkimp.com to learn more. Experience the Landmark difference.
Nebraska is in their first bowl game since 2016, and 93.7 The Ticket is on the scene. Join me, Nick Sainert, Jake Sorensen, and Adam Carricker for coverage from New York City for the Pinstripe Bowl at Yankee Stadium. We'll have videos of festivities on Friday with commentary and videos from pregame, during the game, and postgame on Saturday as Nebraska takes on Boston College at 11 a.m. Central Time. Coverage from the Pinstripe Bowl is sponsored by J-Tech Construction and Solar, High Electric, Lincoln Industries, and A1 Automotive.
Why wait until Friday to start your weekend?
Go ahead, start right now.
You're thirsty now, and 93.7 The Ticket is here to help you stock up.
Just in time for the weekend when I like to hit the clubs.
Time to broaden your horizons and try some new wine and beer. It's Thirsty Thursday with Kevin Meyer from Meyer's Cork and Bottle.
There it is. There it is.
That was a real pop.
Oh, bubbly pop. Welcome into Old School on 93.7 Ticket, brought to you by the Mercado. Steel and J. Foreman's line. That's what I do here. We are joined on a Friday by the fine purveyor of Thirsty Thursday, Kevin Meyer, Meyer's Cork and Bottle. Welcome in.
Thanks, fellas. We're calling it Thirsty Friday since we
Busy Friday.
Busy Friday. Yeah, that
How about
actually
that?
works even better because it's New Year's, so I brought nothing but bubbles. Didn't bring any beer at all.
You like it? How's Christmas?
It was solid. It was nice and low key. Not a lot of drama. Just mostly. We hosted my mom and her spouse on Christmas Eve, and then went over to my father's on Christmas Day. And my wife and I picked up some prime tenderloins and grilled those up on Christmas evening. And it was solid.
Solid, or like, was the meat solid or was the meat tender?
No, man, that's hey, Kevin,
question.
you got to tell him, man, that's disrespectful to ask a true
It's
grill
big grill
master.
guy,
That.
I know.
You know, you just tell him like Kevin Durant said. Do you know who I am? I'm Kevin. I'm Kevin Kev. Do you know who he is?
We did up a little Worcester cream sauce,
Ooh.
some mashed potatoes.
Dang.
Yeah, it was all right.
And you didn't invite Jay.
Well, it was Christmas. Jay got bigger plans than to hang out with Uncle Kevin.
I would have made a pit stop, man. That sounds good. Scrumdiddlyumptious.
That's awesome. Well, you will be on vacation, so we are ringing in the new year early. What's this first sampling of bubbly we got?
Okay, so Austin, quick trivia question. This is a sparkling wine and it's French. Why isn't it champagne?
Because it is not from the Champagne region,
That
Kevin.
is correct. Check out the big brain on Brad over here.
Woo!
This
That's
is
good.
This is called Blanquette de Lemieux, and it comes from southern France. And the reason I asked that question is because the term champagne has become generalized, like Band-Aid or Q-tip. Kleenex, right. So it's actually a region in northern France where they make sparkling wine. And so if it doesn't come from that region, it's not champagne. So I thought I would bring in one that, is approachable. One of the best values in sparkling wine that I've come across. These are on the shelf for $20. So if you're not a big bubble person, but you want to celebrate in style, this is a great way to go. Also, I just want to start with just sort of the bottle itself, because I could do a 2-hour dissertation just on champagne or sparkling wine. But do you remember what the indentation in the bottom is called?
Yes, it's called the indentation in the bottom.
It's called or others might call it the punt.
The punt.
And so it's
like a point.
Right. It's just like not just a place to put your thumb when you're pouring the wine out. It serves a couple of different purposes. Initially, they didn't have these glass bottles. They were clay. And if you had a secondary fermentation where CO2 got trapped in there, they would explode. So they put that indentation in the bottom. It gave the bottle more structural integrity, made it stronger. Also, they didn't have microfilters and things like that. So the wines would all have sediment in them. So they would allow the sediment to collect around that bottom rim down there. And so you would leave about the bottom half inch of the liquid with the sediment in the bottle and not pour that out into the glass. So serves a couple of different purposes.
Didn't they spoon that out as a delicacy? Like there were parts of the region
would not surprise me at all, but that's something new that I haven't heard.
Yeah, it's in the old F&B days. They talked about those tours that you go and those sediments were actually served as a delicacy after the fact.
Little appetizer.
Yeah, it was similar to the worm in the tequila. That all that flavor going to waste would not be allowed.
The worm is called a gusano. So if and technically tequila wouldn't come with a gusano, just mezcal would. A con gusano means with the worm.
What's the worm called down there in the Bahamas? Was it conch or whatever? What's that worm? That one got magical powers. That got magical powers.
Where I like to go, they got a stand out
That's
front,
what I was saying.
and it's called the conch shack.
Hey,
and they pull it right out of the shell,
and you get it crunk too, right, Kel?
It goes happy.
Yeah.
I'm not saying anything. But so then with sparkling wine, initially the wines start still, meaning they don't have any bubbles, and they add a temporary cork. The sediment is left intact because that gives the wine more complexity, and the bottles are gradually twisted and tilted, bringing that sediment up to the neck of the bottle, where they will freeze it with liquid nitrogen. And they will remove that temporary cork. They will allow that icy sediment to escape out of the bottle. It's called disgorgement. And then they will add a little bit of sugar and wine back into it. It's called dosage. And the dosage will determine the dryness and or sweetness of the wine, the finished wine product. It also serves a second purpose because it reactivates the dormant yeast in the bottle and creates a secondary fermentation. Doesn't create any alcohol, but then that's when they add that mushroom-shaped cork and the cage on top. And the cage,
mucilage?
The mucilage. There you go. Two for two, Austin.
Two for three. I missed 2 for 3.
This is like a final for Austin.
And so the mucilage is the wire cage, and it literally means muzzle, like a dog muzzle. And it's necessary because without it, there's enough pressure in there that it would blow those corks out of there. So there's 5 levels of dryness and or sweetness in true champagne. One is called Grand Brut. That's the driest, and it gets very, very little dosage. And that's like your Dom Perignon. Dom Perignon was a famous monk who is credited with the invention of champagne. They used to think if it got bubbles in it, it had gone bad. And he was the first one to recognize that, hey, this is kind of cool.
So something went right.
And so he said, brothers, come quickly. I'm tasting stars. And hence the romance of champagne begun. Then the second level of dryness is called brut. And that's still dry, pretty bone dry. Then the next step is actually called extra dry, but it is not as dry as brut. Then you have demi-sec and sec, which is semi-sweet and sweet. However, mostly you just see the middle three, brut, extra dry, and the demi-sec. The other two are kind of outliers. But how the extra dry got named was as the romance of champagne began to spread throughout Europe, the British monarch commissioned the French champagne producers to make them sparkling wine. And they asked them, well, how do you like it? And they said, well, we're British. We're dry. We have a dry sense of humor. We like our sherry dry. We're very dry. So they sent them brut, and it was too dry. So what they did, they added some more dosage. They called it extra dry because, number one, it was English and it would appease their ego, and it created a new category in terms of the level of dryness, which prior to that, there was only 4. So that's how extra dry became a level of sweetness and or dryness. So
that's funny. I do have to ask, given that we're on sports radio here.
Yeah.
Team wins a championship. They go back to the locker room. Do you know, are they popping out classy champagne? Is it off-brand sparkling wine and they say the champagne's for themselves to drink? How does your heart feel when you see this bubbly getting popped and sprayed in a locker room? Is it a celebration thing? Does it hurt your heart to see it go to waste?
They've got so much money. They can do whatever they want. They're popping Dom and spraying it all over each other. Go right ahead. I think they're usually pouring some pretty good stuff, but they might have, these are our spray bottles and these are our drinking bottles. And I would say inevitably some of the drinking bottles get sprayed and the spray bottles get drunk.
But you probably can't tell the difference when you're celebrating in a locker room.
I imagine the endorphins are popping. It really doesn't matter. It would all taste pretty damn good.
Fair enough. So that's the first bottle. What is the second bottle then? Important question.
Is a sparkling red wine from Italy. And it's made of a grape called Brachetto. And it's also sweet. And
would it be up Ellie's alley?
This would be in Ellie's alley all the way. However, I wanted to do it second. I'm trying to pour and not spill and talk at the same time.
Your efforts are appreciated.
Don't let me chew gum. But the reason I did it second is because if you drink a sweet wine followed by a dry wine, it can give you a similar sensation as brushing your teeth and drinking orange juice. Does not set it up. You always want to go driest to sweetest. And this comes from the Piedmont region, which is northern Italy. It's made of a grape called Brachetto, and it was made famous by a court jester named Giovanni of the Jug. The reason they called him Giovanni of the Jug is he was commanded by the Italian king and queen to carry a jug around of this at all times because he was funnier when he was drunk, as we all are. And so that's essentially how this wine became famous. Now, you've heard the term Asti Spumante. Spumante means full sparkling. This comes from the same place as Asti Spumante, but it's made in what they call a frizzante, which is half sparkling. So it only has just a little bit of effervescence. It's not a full bubbly wine. And they'll even make one that's just slightly effervescent called frizzantino. But the grape itself, you get that sort of fresh black raspberry. It doesn't taste like booze. It's again a good sort of bubbly to celebrate with if you're not a big bubbly fan.
This is good, man.
So
this will knock you off your feet too.
Jay, is the Asti Pomani what you tasted the most of or drank the most of?
No.
Is the dog.
I was usually a brute guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had to go get it where you can get it.
Yeah. Brute. Yeah. Well, it looked the coolest and it said brute right on there. So I didn't know what I was drinking. I wanted to ask you, what's the big bottle that they, especially NBA champions, they pop after they win? What's that big one? Remember the Dallas Mavericks? They had that big old bottle of champagne.
I want to say that is called an Ebenezer, and it's 6 liters.
Yeah.
So a regular bottle would be 750 milliliters, and so I want to say it's the equivalent of 8 bottles. If my math is correct.
I thought that Mark Cuban was Verve.
Oh yeah, the Veuve Clicquot.
Yeah, I thought he was a
Oh,
Verve guy.
yeah.
with the big bottle of orange label Verve Clicquot.
Wouldn't surprise
Well,
me.
yeah.
I mean, that's one of the most popular, but they have a name for each size of bottle. So
Yeah.
a Magnum is a double bottle, and that's 1.5 liters. And then you've got a Jeroboam, which is 3 liters. And I want to say the Ebenezer is the 6 liter.
Yeah.
That's the big
Yeah,
bottle.
I think that's it, man. That's huge.
Wow.
Yeah, those are hard to pour.
Yeah.
I was gonna say you gotta have a big boy up there
Yeah.
doing the work. For
Yeah,
you.
well, and you would be amazed at the size of the cork in one of those. I mean, it's like a fist.
Man.
It's massive.
Dang. That's
Well,
crazy.
We will raise a glass to you, kind sir, for what you do for us on a weekly basis, adding to the space. And again, thank you for always adding to.
I appreciate y'all having me. It's kind of the highlight of my week. I shouldn't say kind of. It is the highlight of my week, coming in here and just getting to have some fun and share a few things. And I appreciate you all, and I hope you all have a happy New Year.
Before
you too.
he's out of here, you got 4 days to stock up for New Year's. Get
That's
the
right.
bubbly, Myers Cork and Bottle, 13th and South. What are the hours where people can get it before New Year's Eve?
So we're open till 11 this weekend, and then we will be open until 10 p.m. Monday, Tuesday, and then Wednesday will just be open until 6.
What's the Pinstripe Bowl victory celebration beverage of choice?
Well, I think you got to go. I mean, it depends on how.
Buy an
it's-
extra bottle of bubbly. Pop it early.
Right. It's a 6-6 season, so celebrate
7-6. We're
Or
gonna
7 and
We're gonna
6.
claim that one.
7-6. So celebrate, but don't get over your skis. A bottle like this Blanquette for $20, I think, would be apropos for a Husker victory.
Well, it
Love
from the text line, it says, "Hey, Kev, shopped with my little one last week and picked up the Noble Tree. Great
Nice.
$16 wine. Thanks for the suggestion."
My pleasure, and thanks for your business.
Love it. Kevin, as always, appreciate you.
Happy
Talk
New
again
Year.
soon.
Take care.
We'll be right back here to Old School on the Ticket.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Nebraska's Christmas Light Show is back and bigger than ever. The Magical Lights of Lincoln Christmas Show runs from Black Friday through New Year's Eve at Sandhills Global Event Center. Bring the family for a show they'll never forget, featuring over 1.5 million lights. Cost is $25 per vehicle from Monday through Thursday, $30 on Friday and Saturday, and also $30 on Christmas Eve and day. Purchase your tickets online today at ChristmasLightsInLincoln.com and get ready to experience a drive-through light show like you've never seen before.
Looking to upgrade your equipment? Landmark Implement, your John Deere dealer in Nebraska and northern Kansas, has an offer you don't want to miss. Through December, purchase a model year 2022, 23, or 24 tractor, combine, or sprayer, and take advantage of financing as low as 3.9 for 60 months. That's right. Get the equipment you need with affordable payments designed to keep your operation running strong. Stop by your local Landmark Implement today or visit landmarkimp.com to learn more. Experience the Landmark difference.
General Fire and Safety has been keeping Lincoln businesses and commercial structures safe for more than 50 years. From a simple fire extinguisher to full fire suppression systems, Lincoln has trusted General Fire and Safety to provide top-of-the-line products, installation, and maintenance. If you're starting a new business in a brand new building, call on General Fire and Safety to help you plan a fire safety system that fits the specific needs of your business, employees, and customers. Call General Fire and Safety today at 402-261-0116.
It happens. All of a sudden, you need a plumber. Just call Bryant, 467-1111. Problem solved with Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
I can't believe I just scratched that car. Find my insurance card.
Dude, what do you have in this glove box? Ew, are these socks dirty?
Oh, forget about the socks. I need my insurance card.
Just pull it up on the State Farm mobile app.
But I can do that? Oh, hey, I can do that.
Yep, it's called service.
I can file a claim on here too?
Yeah, it's called service.
Whoa, I can call my agent too?
It's called service.
Call your local State Farm agent, Vinny Kreekak, at 402-474-1173.
Discover the difference that expertise and experience can make in your real estate journey with Next Ag Appraisal and Realty. Whether you need an appraisal, sales, or farm management, Next Ag comes up with a solution with your legacy and goals in mind. Next Ag isn't just their name, it's your future. So why wait? Visit their website today at www.nextagrealestate.com or give them a call at 402-380-0432 and turn your dreams into reality. Your land, your legacy, their solutions. Next Ag Appraisal and Realty. Perch Merch is your one-stop shop for all your printing and promotional needs in Lincoln, Nebraska. They specialize in screen printing, embroidery, vehicle wraps, window wraps, print collateral, promotional products, and signage. At Perch Merch, they are committed to delivering high-quality products and exceptional customer service. Their experienced team of designers and printing professionals will work with you every step of the way to ensure that your vision is realized. Call for a quote today at 402-217-5212 or go to perch-merch.com.
Limitless Mail has redefined the little blue pill with our new ED trochees that melt in your mouth, delivering faster results so you can be spontaneous again. Once you try the Limitless Mail trochee, you won't go back to the little blue pill. Our trochees go right to the source through your bloodstream, leading to quicker, harder results. To experience the difference for yourself and your partner, schedule a free consult with the men's health experts at limitlessmail.com.
If you're in Seward or Milford, listen up. Select Plumbing is now servicing your area with no trip charges from Lincoln. Select Plumbing works on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate, 402-560-6197. It's not just Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area anymore. It's also Seward and Milford with no trip charges. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
Nebraska is in their first bowl game since 2016, and 93.7 The Ticket is on the scene. Join me, Nick Sainert, Jake Sorensen, and Adam Carricker for coverage from New York City for the Pinstripe Bowl at Yankee Stadium. We'll have videos of festivities on Friday with commentary and videos from pregame, during the game, and postgame on Saturday as Nebraska takes on Boston College at 11 a.m. Central Time. Coverage from the Pinstripe Bowl is sponsored by J-Tech Construction and Solar, High Electric, Lincoln Industries, and A1 Automotive.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America, this is Old School, sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Broadcasting veteran Derek Pearson.
When you find something that moves them, that makes them smile, celebrate it. That's your task. That's your superpower.
Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score!
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up, Jay Foreman, DP, Austin Norman, the Old School crew, 1040 O Street, brought to you by the Mercado. Once again, we want to thank Kevin Meyer, Corcovato, 13th South, coming in with good vibes and also good knowledge to end the year, but then also start the year off right in 2025 with some bubbly. But what's going to be started, or actually probably been going on early this morning. And I guess on the stream we have Jake Sorensen. There he is. Jake, welcome in, my brother.
Gentlemen, good to talk to you on a Friday evening here in late December.
Yeah, I mean, that means some things happened that we have gotten used to.
It's been a great day. We've toured the town. You can't go to New York City and just sit around and do nothing. So we, after doing the shows this morning, number one, this won't surprise you. I know that this was expected from the listeners, but I'll be very honest. We got lost in the subway, took the wrong train. I could DP is cackling. So what was supposed to be a 15-minute ride from our hotel area to the World Trade Center area ended up being an hour. We went 20 minutes the wrong way and then made about 40 minutes to go back there. So that affected a little bit of the morning and early afternoon, but got to see Ground Zero, got to walk around and see Wall Street, and then took the train back, or the subway back to Central Park. Was there for an hour and a half or so, and then and we're back here at the hotel. We got some dinner plans tonight. We'll go to a Husker party this evening, but it's been a great great day. And actually, guys, the weather has been very, very solid here. Winter coat's been great. Nick's had a sweatshirt on the whole time, but can't complain so far, even though rain might be in the forecast tomorrow for the game.
Jake, you're out there. Obviously, the Huskers haven't been in a bowl game for 8 years. So with your football background, what's the feeling like in New York City that is slowly but surely being invaded by Husker Red?
I have yet to see a Boston College fan in anywhere. Central Park, World Trade Center area. I've seen plenty of Husker fans. I actually saw one of our good clients. I saw Andy Goodyear from Honda of Lincoln. Saw him at the one of the new places out there. So good to see him on the scene. But yeah, I've seen a lot of Husker fans. I would say I don't really know a number to expect at the game. My initial thought was like 15,000 Nebraska fans. I hope it's more than that. I would expect that many Boston College fans, but I have no idea of an actual number to expect. I was talking to someone with the UNL Alumni Association who said it's hard to know the amount of people going because people have been purchasing the packages of travel, but the game tickets themselves are not included in that package. It's separate. So it's hard to know an actual number, but I would expect a solid throng of Husker fans tomorrow at Yankee Stadium for the Pinstripe Bowl.
Jake, with Boston College having two of their best players electing to sit out, does that change your view on the bowl game? Obviously, I think Nebraska comes in way more talented, but both teams that are looking at each other dead in the eye as far as the records go. But having two potential first-round picks deciding to sit out, does that raise the expectation for you and those young Huskers?
Yes, I think it has to. I mean, if you're Dylan Raiola, when you saw the news of the guy with 16 and a half sacks not playing, I think that you had a big smile on your face saying, all right, it's not guaranteed you don't get sacked, but hey, this is the top guy in college football that's not going to come, after me. So that's nice. But the spread obviously jumped in Nebraska's favor more than it was after we heard the news. But I tell you what, if Nebraska can't get fired up to win this game, I don't know what to tell you. It's been since 2016 that they've been in the bowl game. Yeah, it's not a game in the playoff game. They were 6-6. They had a rough finish to the year, but I think this is a very proud university, proud tradition, and they're going to have a lot of fans in the stands and watching across the country. They expect to see a win. You're not playing Oregon tomorrow. You're playing Boston College, who's been average this year in an average conference. So I'd be disappointed if Nebraska does not win tomorrow. And yeah, I think that they are the better talented team. And I hope that they want it more than Boston College does.
Well, Coach O'Brien talked today about that this is more about the 2025 version of Boston College. And I would think that as a Husker fan, one, you're happy to be there. Two, some payoff for players who stuck it out and got to do a thing that none of their past teammates had done. But for you, do you want to see this year's best version of 2024 Huskers, or do you want to peek behind the curtain and see what the 2025 Huskers have to offer?
Well, I mean, it's a combination of both. I mean, you won't be able to see the receivers coming in from the portal that are going to think big additions, but Emmett Johnson's going to be a big part of this picture next year. Dante Daldell is is gone to a different school, and Emmett Johnson, it appears, will be the clear starter next year at running back. So we saw him making a push the last couple of games with Holgorsen in there as the OC. I would expect to see him be a big part tomorrow, especially if there's rain in the forecast. I don't think you'll pass a ton in the rain. Maybe you will and prove us wrong, but it's going to be important to establish the trenches and be the more physical team. And that starts with the O-line and obviously with the Emmett Johnson leading the way as a running back. So I'm optimistic that, Dana Holgorsen has had a couple weeks to prepare for this game, and we've seen some nice wrinkles since he has been the OC here. And I think that Dylan's getting probably more comfortable with him as his play caller. So I guess to answer that, DP, I think a combo of both. I hope you see the best performance you've seen of 2024, although the Wisconsin game is going to be tough to beat with 44 points in that game they put up in mid-November. But, yeah, I mean, I guess I'll be curious to see what other wrinkles has Dana thrown in that we did not see since the Iowa game in late November.
Jake, I wanted to ask you. Obviously, the offense with the new offense coordinator Dana Holgorsen and Dylan Raiola and Barney and so forth and so on gets a lot of the hype, but big losses as far as the transfer portal goes on defense, new defensive coordinator, etc. How important is it for this defense to start off on a good foot, essentially giving you a good look-see into 2025, but more importantly, show that even though Tony White's gone, they're still going to play good defense?
Well, it's a huge thing. I mean, the question he had about Butler was he's not bringing in, he's not coming from a school where he's bringing in 6-7 guys with him. He was on the staff this year. He was a defensive backs coach. So you don't have, Tony White brought some guys to Florida State with him. And that's the thing. What we see Cignetti bringing guys as the head coach from James Madison to Indiana, and they had a great year. So when you don't bring somebody from outside that is bringing players, I guess you're a little bit behind the 8 ball, but at the same time, this defense is pretty good this year. And so if Butler's going to keep using the same concepts that Tony White did, and guys understand that, then there shouldn't be a drop off. It might be some different calls once in a while or a different philosophy in some elements, but Matt Rule already said that he hopes that it's going to be a similar looking defense to what it was under Tony White. So I guess you hope to see a defense that is together tomorrow, that can finish off plays, get off the field on third down, which has been an issue at times this year for this defense. But I just love the fact that in this world of opt-outs, you're seeing Ty Robinson play. You're seeing Nash Hutmacher play. You're seeing John Bullock play. You've lost some guys, like you mentioned, to the portal. But the dudes that have never made the bowl game and have put their heart out there, I love the fact they're playing. I think you'll see them play hard one last time, not just for Nebraska, but for John Butler.
Was this, for a fan that's been waiting for this, was this past few days everything that you would hope for it to be and want for it to be? You've been waiting for this for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I think a lot of fans, when you think bowl game, think about something, warm, going to Florida, going to Arizona, going to California. And this is obviously different going to New York City, but I mean, there's people out there that have never been to New York. I hadn't been here since I was in high school. And so it's a different experience as an adult than that. And like I said, the fact the weather has cooperated has been awesome. There's so much to see here. You could come to New York 30 times and still have so much more to see. I mean, I've been here now twice, and I feel like I've seen 0.5% of the stuff I want to see in New York. But it's been fun. I think people have said they had a good time, and we've had a great time. Look forward to tonight and tomorrow and all the festivities of the game before and afterwards. But yeah, I think again, maybe you want warmer weather, but other than that, this is a great place to come to.
Jake, the biggest question is this. Everybody knows about the sleeping arrangements. Who's on the floor and who's got the bed tonight?
Well, I made it very clear, and I'll say it again, just for those who missed out earlier. I was very clear from the get-go that Nick could be in the bed with a pillow wall there. I'm not interested in trading off the full bed for the ground. I said last night like 17 times, Nick, you can sleep on this bed if there's a defined wall or a blanket in between us. And he said no. He just didn't trust himself to not roll or what? You said that. He said he couldn't, didn't trust himself to not.
He's a snuggler.
Yeah. That's why the pillow wall is important. I'm like, I'm not going on the floor. I gave you every option to have plenty of space in this. It wouldn't be weird. We figured it out. It's a situation we're in. So no, we're not trading off spots. The same arrangement is available tonight if he wants it, but I'm not going on the ground.
Go get the couch. Like, I don't understand.
There's no couch here. And if there's a couch, we'd be on it.
It's New York City. You're not getting any.
This.
Well,
who booked this?
Come on, you know who booked this.
Yeah. See, you live in. See, this is Jay. This is the veteran. This is the veteran Foreman play that you have to make sure those things are handled.
Like that's first and foremost,
right?
We'll make sure we get there. Where sleeping is most important.
Well, I mean, we thought maybe the room would be big enough to get a cot, but it's not. It's
not New York.
This room is not. It's a great view. I mean, the hotel is sweet in general. It's an awesome location, a block away from Madison Square Garden, and so much stuff around us on 34th Street. Can't get better than that. But the rooms aren't big, and you can't have it all when you're doing that. But there's not room for a cot. He asked for some extra bedding last night from the front desk, a comforter, some pillows, and a sheet. And he may do with it on the floor.
You should ask for double, first of all, because that's a floor in New York City. So to do that. But here's the question. Here's the $25,000 question. Who is John Candy and who is Steve Martin?
That is a good question. I think honestly, DP, I think we honestly trade off on that. Like there's moments I feel like I'm John Candy and he's Steve Martin, and there's times I feel like I'm Steve Martin, he's John Candy. Like it's kind of been interesting to see that we both have our personalities trade off. So it's really a 50-50 on that. I don't think I have been Steve Martin 100%. I don't think that he's been Steve Martin 100%. So it's kind of a weird trade-off where we both are idiots at times and both responsible at times. So,
Jake, one more question before we get you out of there, man. Have you, since I've lived in New York City, I was in New Jersey, spent a lot of time there. Have you been cussed out as a welcome to New York foreigner yet by a native New Yorker?
No. It's been close a couple of times. I can tell you that the moment that we got to the hotel last night, Nick was about this close to that happening to him because didn't pay attention that there's a bike lane that goes through almost every street in New York City, and he just gets out of the Uber so excited to go to the hotel and just walks across and he is a millisecond from a boom splat for him and the biker, but it didn't happen. I waited for three people. I mean, the guy gave him a pretty rough glare, which is, that was not great. And then he kind of got yelled at on the way back to the hotel the night from somebody. He didn't even know he got yelled at, but he did because he was kind of trying to brush by somebody. I don't think I've been cussed at yet, but the night is young, the trip is young. Maybe it happens tomorrow at Yankee Stadium, possibly.
It will tonight. It's Friday night. You will.
Happy hour.
Yeah, they're happy hour. They will welcome you into New York.
Let me ask you guys a quick question. In terms of tomorrow, it's I just need some advice here. Potentially, cold for the game, open air press box. I was fine today with the normal ball cap on. If there's any breeze tomorrow, I was going to add to it. Would I be punished by fans of New York if I wore a Kansas City Royals stocking cap into Yankee Stadium?
Yeah.
Jake,
Do it, Jake.
No, Jake,
Do it, Jake.
Jake,
Do it.
Actually,
not
no,
the Red
they won't
Sox.
say anything to you. Wear a Kansas City Royals jersey.
Yeah,
as
wear
well.
a hoodie to go along with it, and be sure to leave your phone GPS on.
Bobby Witt Jr. is the true MVP. Let him know, Jake. Let him know.
I'll have a ticket jacket on. I'll be a ticket representation, but I lost all my stocking caps when I moved earlier this month, and all I could find was the Royals ones. That's all I have for my stocking.
You're in New York City. Go to the next corner, and there's like 100 skull caps being sold.
I have.
You don't know where they're coming from. You might even try to wash them or dry clean them before.
Yeah, I have seen many stocking caps that you're talking about in the corner.
Oh, Jake, we got to ask you this before we get you out of here. Have you seen a New York rat yet?
A New York? No, I don't believe so. I've seen a lot of pigeons.
Yeah. The pigeons
are different anyway.
Pigeons are different anyway, but I can't wait till you and Nick get a glimpse of a New York rat, the size of
I
a
haven't
dog.
seen one.
You got to look a little harder, Jake. About 12 o'clock tonight. If you guys are still up, you'll see him out.
Yeah. Jake, practice this line with me. That's not a pillow.
Let's just hope he opts for the ground. I'm going to hope that he opts again for the ground. I said, open invitation.
Nope. He
I'm
needs
friendly.
to. And we want
I'm
full
nice.
report in the morning.
Yeah, I'm sure that he'll.
So good.
Well, what's scary is that what if I start the night like he's on the ground and all of a sudden at 3 a.m, he's all of a sudden in the bed. That's the
It's gonna
scary
happen.
thing.
You probably found one of those New York rats
Jake,
in your
Jake,
room.
sometimes if you go to the bathroom, go to just slide right in bed.
Yep, gonna
I'm
happen.
sorry, Jake. Whatever
on, man.
whatever you guys do in New York, stay in New York. We love you all the same, man. We'll talk to you guys in the morning, man. Be safe.
All right.
Be safe and always keep an eye on each other, Jake.
All right, we'll do that.
All right, you young whippersnappers.
All right. Adios.
That right there would
rookies, just so rookie. We offered to book for him. Like Becky and I
think
we
they'd
know,
be all right, though.
we
I
know
think
New York. We can tell
it's all
you,
about the experience.
Well, he's more experienced right now than he ever was. Because let me tell you, we could have told him, "Hey, bro, the closer to Madison Square Garden, the smaller the room, or the more the cost."
Yeah.
And hey, man, don't cut prices. Spend the money so that you actually enjoy yourself. But
because if you got to go a block in New York, I remember I learned this the hard way when I was playing there. You got to go a block, or you got to go 10 blocks. It's going to take you about the same time.
Yep.
So if you can stay 10 blocks away, and plus it's a little bit harder, but I mean, you know what? It's all about the experience, and plus on these type of trips, you're always kind of moving and shaking anyway. So good for them to call and check in. It's obviously going to really ramp up tonight. See, I mean, it'd be interesting to see tomorrow morning what the vibe is as far as the amount of Husker fans out there. So I do know New York has some undercover Husker fans, and plus anytime there's a big event in the city of New York, you will get the New Yorkers themselves, the natives that will show up and show out. So with that being said, we're going to take a quick break, come back. Jay Foreman, DP, Austin Orman, Old School. We'll be right back.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Discover the difference that expertise and experience can make in your real estate journey with Next Ag Appraisal and Realty. Whether you need an appraisal, sales, or farm management, Next Ag comes up with a solution with your legacy and goals in mind. Next Ag isn't just their name, it's your future. So why wait? Visit their website today at www.nextagrealestate.com or give them a call at 402-380-0432 and turn your dreams into reality. Your land, your legacy, their solution. Next Ag Appraisal and Realty.
Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in, temperature-controlled, high-end wine bar. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting bar. There's only one place to go for all your needs for wine, beer, spirits, and cigars. Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, fog and drizzle expected throughout the day. Otherwise, cloudy skies with a high around 47. Tonight, mainly clear, but patchy fog possible. The low near 30. And tomorrow, patchy fog in the morning and mainly sunny for the afternoon. We'll see a high around 52. I'm meteorologist Kyle Butler from 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
If you're a homeowner or a business owner, you have a lot of projects, and no one has an unlimited budget or time. Sunbelt Rentals makes all jobs less stressful with no need to purchase large equipment or hire a crew. You can do it yourself with rentals and everything from aerators and power rakes for spring yard work to stump grinders, concrete mixers, tile saws, and more. Check out their inventory in Lincoln, north of Cornhusker Highway on 56th Street, or online at sunbeltrentals.com.
The Body Lab, located at 14th and Yankee Hill, is Lincoln's premier physical therapy and recovery lab. The Body Lab offers trigger point dry needling, cupping therapy, joint manipulation, and so much more. Looking to relax and relieve stress after a long day or difficult workout? The Body Lab's recovery lab is the ideal spot. Featuring infrared sauna, a cold plunge tub, or if you're just looking for enough space to stretch out and reset your mind. Learn more about memberships and schedule your service today at thebodylablnk.com. or visit the Body Lab in person at 14th and Yankee Hill Road.
If you're in Seward or Milford, listen up. Select Plumbing is now servicing your area with no trip charges from Lincoln. Select Plumbing works on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate, 402-560-6197. It's not just Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area anymore. It's also Seward and Milford with no trip charges. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Load up on meat and more this winter at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. This week's special through December 31st is 30% off on Smithy pans. The Mercado is closed on Christmas Day and New Year's Day, and it wishes you and yours a very happy holidays. Locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Old Cheney in Lincoln, or 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Perch Merch is your one-stop shop for all your printing and promotional needs in Lincoln, Nebraska. They specialize in screen printing, embroidery, vehicle wraps, window wraps, print collateral, promotional products, and signage. At Perch Merch, they are committed to delivering high-quality products and exceptional customer service. Their experienced team of designers and printing professionals will work with you every step of the way to ensure that your vision is realized. Call for a quote today at 402-217-5212 or go to perch-merch.com.
Back to Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up? We're back. Jay Foreman, DP Austin. Quick segment. Then we'll get to the top of 5 o'clock hour. Once again, thanks Kevin Meyer, Cork and Bottle coming in on a Friday. Giving us some nice libations and obviously all of his knowledge. Then also big shout out to Jake Sorensen and Nick Sainert out there in the NYC, keeping us posted all things Huskers first bowl game in 8 years. Obviously, a lot going on out there. It sounds like a lot more will be going on later tonight. Quick segment here. Obviously, it's just ended probably DP before we got on the air. 2 things. Navy beats Oklahoma. 95-yard touchdown run ends the Sooners' chance to. Brett Venables went from the lukewarm seat back to the hot seat. Is this a one-off with Oklahoma? I'll say they've been trending this way, or is this a glimpse into the future as they try to become a powerhouse in the SEC?
This is their second 6-win season out of the last 3.
Yeah.
Under Venables. So you are who you are.
Yeah.
I got some folks mad on social media because I was like, man, the Navy certainly figured out a way to circumvent all the transfer portal, NIL, the 4- and 5-star player talk by beating an SEC blue blood. They don't seem to have the same problems. Half the people in Oklahoma didn't play. Well, that points out my problem because Navy don't seem to have a problem with that sort of thing. There's a way to win football games. People, you get caught up in all the other stuff. But, man, I love seeing a military academy just beat up on a blue blood. And you ain't had no answers. Like, there's no excuse for letting them run the ball the way they did. Right? Because you're bigger, stronger, faster, got better players. And Venables, you got some explaining to do.
Yeah, it's
2
tough.
Oklahoma coaches since 1925 have multiple losing seasons. Brent Venables and John Blake are the 2. First time ever, Navy and Army win 10 games in the same year. First time ever.
Yeah. I mean, it's the rebirth of the Pac-12 now. They're everywhere else, and they're all over the college football playoffs. You got Navy and Army having great years. It's tough. The bowl games are tough, and when you play a team like Navy, it's even tougher. And it's also tougher for Brett Venables being a defensive coach. Obviously, that's what he's going to really look at. Keen eyes. The defenses should be able to carry him, but it's hard to play against that one-off offense, even no matter how long you get to rep it, because ultimately you don't get to practice against it to that efficiency. But ultimately, he's got some stuff he's got to fix ASAP. He's got about 6 games to get it going next year.
There's a $35 million buyout.
You heard the man over there. The second one, first of all, they're with the big boys. They're going to be like Auburn. They're going to be like Auburn. Texas is like Bama. They're going to be like Auburn. So everything that they do, they're going to try to catch Texas. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
well, Oklahoma did beat Alabama, by several scores. So,
They don't. Nobody cares about that right now
you know,
because you lost the Navy. You know,
I'm gonna keep saying it. Y'all keep messing around with the military academies. They're on to something.
Yeah, I mean it's always good when they play good football, and you know, Oklahoma they're in for a long ride home, a long winter conditioning, and those exit meetings became a little bit more intense, considering that's the way you played that last game.
What Seinfeld said, shame, hate to see it.
Yeah. Couldn't happen to a better university. Actually, I respect Oklahoma, hate Colorado. With that being said, Jay Foreman, DP Austin, quick break. We'll be back at top 5 o'clock hour.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Load up on meat and more this winter at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. This week's special through December 31st is 30% off on Smithy pans. The Mercado is closed on Christmas Day and New Year's Day, and it wishes you and yours a very happy holidays. Locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Old Cheney and Lincoln, or 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Are you looking to upgrade or improve the garage door on your home? This is Cameron Hall of Doors Plus. At Doors Plus, we guarantee to offer a wide selection of options from 5 leading garage door manufacturers as we deliver a free estimate, exact measurements, and rapid installation with a 3 to 5 week time frame. When you choose Doors Plus for your residential garage door needs, you'll work with our experienced technicians and be ensured that your new door seamlessly complements your home. Give us a call at 402-590-5800 or visit us online at doorsplusllc.com. Doors Plus, garage doors and more.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
You can help fight deadly diseases like RSV and influenza while getting paid for your time. Velocity Clinical Research is now seeking clinical trial participants in your area. Participants can receive compensation for study-related time. No health insurance is needed to join. Find a study near you at velocitytrials.com. That's velocitytrials.com.
League One Volleyball is bringing the action to Omaha with Omaha's first serve on January 24th at 7 p.m. Central Time at the Liberty First Credit Union Arena. Witness history in the making as Love Omaha Volleyball takes on Love Madison in the team's inaugural home match. Be there to watch Olympic teammates Jordan Larson and Lauren Carlini go head-to-head in a battle of the world's best. Visit lovboma.com for tickets starting at $31. Volleyball is the next major league.
If you're a homeowner or a business owner, you have a lot of projects, and no one has an unlimited budget or time. Sunbelt Rentals makes all jobs less stressful with no need to purchase large equipment or hire a crew. You can do it yourself with rentals and everything from aerators and power rakes for spring yard work to stump grinders, concrete mixers, tile saws, and more. Check out their inventory in Lincoln, north of Cornhusker Highway on 56th Street, or online at sunbeltrentals.com.
At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just the professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at pahlincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, our passion. For happier, healthier furry friends.
Discover the difference that expertise and experience can make in your real estate journey with Next Ag Appraisal and Realty. Whether you need an appraisal, sales, or farm management, Next Ag comes up with a solution with your legacy and goals in mind. Next Ag isn't just their name, it's your future. So why wait? Visit their website today at www.nextagrealestate.com or give them a call at 402-380-0432 and turn your dreams into reality. Your land, your legacy, their solution. Next Ag Appraisal and Realty.
When you need a new water heater, nothing beats the ProLine family of water heaters from A.O. Smith. ProLine models are built using commercial-grade components, meaning they're built to help you tackle your toughest days. No matter if you need a gas or electric model, A.O. Smith has a ProLine unit for you. A.O. Smith, innovation has a name. Call Wellman Plumbing at 402-434-2400 for a great deal on a water heater today. Again, that's 402-434-2400.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Outside is where winter adventure unfolds. On frozen lakes, icy landscapes, and snow-covered slopes. Feeling the cold air rush by as you race downhill. The freedom of gliding with ease and the warmth of being together. From epic sled rides to the fun of ice fishing, it's all right here beneath Nebraska skies. Start your winter adventure at yournebraskaparks.com. Sponsored by Nebraska Game and Parks, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Associations and this station.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is Old School, sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Broadcasting veteran Derek Pearson.
When you find something that moves them, that makes them smile, celebrate it. That's your task. That's your superpower.
Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score!
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up? We're back. Jay Foreman, DP, Austin Orman, 5 o'clock hour, 1040 O Street. We're the old school crew, brought to you by the Mercado, Certified Piedmontese, Special Ingredients Butcher Shop, 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, 85th and Andremat, and 168th and Maple up there in the O. Once again, thanks to Kevin Meyer, Cork and Bottle coming in on this Friday, even though it's usually Thursday. And big shout out to Jake Sorensen and Nick Sander out there representing the ticket along with themselves and Husker Nation in NYC, giving us hourly or showly or every show updates, what the goings on and what's the happenings out there. And then also we'll be posting periodically out throughout the night as they're going to a Big Red pregame bash. Now, with that being said, obviously, DP, the game is tomorrow. Obviously, we got the pregame show brought to you by A1 Automotive. And then obviously we'll be going all the way up until game time. But with Bill O'Brien having his, I guess, pregame presser or the news coming out, let you know why the line went up only, in my opinion, a little bit less than I would expect. 1.5 to 4. It's not even a touchdown. With their two mainstays deciding to opt out of the game. Obviously, Bill O'Brien and those in the staff knew that probably well in advance. And I'm sure some of the people in Vegas knew well in advance. They wanted to get everybody in at a certain price point and now raise it up a little bit. So if you snooze, you lose. What are your thoughts on that? And do you let your guard down as a player and or a coach or a team with two potential, well, for sure one potential first round pick and the offensive tackle as well, probably second, third round guy potentially in the draft sitting out?
You can't, as you said, you can't fake football.
Yeah.
And so your job, if you're a Husker, doesn't matter on who your opponent is. It doesn't matter. Once you start evaluating, paying attention to what Boston College is doing or your opponent is doing, you're not doing your job. You're not honoring why you're there. And for any Nebraska player, I don't care who you are, what side of the ball you're on, what position. I don't care who's wearing that Boston College jersey.
Yeah. Because they don't care either.
My techniques are the same. My rules of engagement are the same. My preparation is the same. My execution is the same. My finish is the same. Like that's you leave that for the point odds makers. Listen, I'm actually going to get a little more upset and feel disrespected that their best is not going to be there. Like, how dare you? How dare you not Like you come
I
out here
understand
with
it, though.
you
I
bringing
mean,
your little brother to the fight, bro. You send your little brother over to fight me. I'm a grown man. Like somebody about to get this work. And listen, Nebraska should not pay attention. Do not pay attention to whose hand in the dirt or the grass at Yankee Stadium is across from you. Don't care. Do your job. Play for the dude next to you. Represent your name and your brand and finish. I don't care who lines up for Boston.
Yeah. I mean, that's got to be the attitude. I mean, like I said, much like this season, and I feel it just the same with this game here. It's a maturity game. It's got to be different guys that have to be mature. Obviously, I felt like this was a football team maturity year. Beat the teams you should, and obviously end up 6-6 and gave away a couple games, which you can't rehash or replay. You just got to hopefully learn from it. But this is a maturity bowl game. I mean, you're in New York City, so there's natural distractions with 10 million people there just walking around living their daily life with just a football game going on in less than 24 hours. And then you have the distraction of, quite frankly, a whole new football department, athletic department going to do something that 2 previous staffs weren't able to do. So it's all new to everybody in that building. And so that is a little bit of a distraction,
and new to the coaches because you have new staff members. You have new coaches
but
who are there.
they've all been to a bowl game.
But they haven't been around this group of young people.
Sure. Yeah. And I mean, that's a little bit, but it's more or less, get there, I call it get the Disneyland effect out of your system. And then come Wednesday night, it's time to lock in. And that's going to be the maturity or the immaturity of each individual player. And then obviously as the team getting to New York City is great. You went out there on the 23rd and there's a lot to see. It's a once in a lifetime trip. And you're going to experience a lot being there. You get to do the, entry party. You get to, play how they compete against each other and like ping pong and all that. They do a lot of things, and then you get to go to a Knicks game, Chris, you get to go to 9/11 site, Central Park and all that stuff. But ultimately the trip becomes a lot more special when you win. And yes, they have, Donovan Azaricu is out. Obviously he's the best player on their team. 17 sacks, he has 3 forced fumbles. I mean, he's a one-man wrecking crew, led him in tackles, but ultimately the maturity is going to come from playing yourself. Nebraska's opponent will be itself. And the hay's in the barn, but you got to go out there and play, because as long as you play to your capabilities, you will come out on the end, no matter if Donovan was playing, no matter if the offensive tackle was playing, because Nebraska's, supremely talented compared to Boston College. But one thing that you have to prepare for is Boston College's best shot. And it's always that what if. We talked about the Oklahoma and Navy. Now, if Oklahoma and Navy played, over 10 years, Oklahoma probably would come out on the top end more times than not. But that's the thing that's really special about bowl games, and that's what can be frustrating and disappointing about bowl games, is because it's a snapshot, and I always say you have to pass the walk-by test. And it's very important for both teams, and I think both coaches said it. This is a game played in 2024, but it's the first game of 2025. It's the first game, and in particular for Nebraska, when you have some super seniors that are leaving, obviously by graduation, and there'll be a few that go to NFL. So this is a time for, whether you like it or not, your young quarterback's got to be a leader. He's got to lead his own way. He can't be anybody but himself. All right. Then you got to have guys step up on defense that go from maybe freshmen or part-time players, step up and take a strong hold on the team. And then you got to input eventually the new guys coming in, through the transfer portal and freshmen. But it starts right now, and it starts tomorrow.
How does it happen now? And is it different than how y'all handle it? So go back 30 years and just remember that a lot of the players that were able to return have the ability and option to go elsewhere. That this game can be resume for any player who plays.
Oh, you mean in the portal?
Right,
you mean?
Right?
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be some, but I mean, at this point, if you're a player looking to go somewhere else, you won't play good tomorrow.
So for the guys who are coming back and know they're coming back, don't you want to use this as an opportunity to get really good tape? And then aren't you a little offended if you know a guy ahead of you isn't coming back, or the guy behind you is eating up on your time? How do you manage that?
Well, I mean, it's like you're trying to make the team over again. So,
Yeah.
I would expect to get your best shot. I think one of the biggest things that probably didn't get talked about enough, and I alluded to it, and people might not have picked up on it or not, the first year, and you see this all the time in the NFL, the first year a coach comes in, and let's face the colleges like little mini pros, everybody's going to be on their best behavior, right? Because you want to stay here, whether it's you're from close by, you feel obligated to stay here, you want to, whatever the reason is. So you're going to work your hardest, you're going to do whatever you need to do, right? You're going to get in line. And then obviously you're going to play well, right? Obviously, ideally. Yeah. Well, then you get comfortable, right? Then you might get a couple pats on the back, and then you might think you just because you got a couple pats on the back, it's equivalent of I've arrived. Well, then that's how you dookie down your leg. That's how you come out of halftime a little bit flat. Well, then that's how you get in your feelings some. And look, there's plenty of blame to go around. I'm just talking about from a player's perspective. It changes when you start to believe things that are actually not true. And it goes both ways. You're never as good as they tell you are, and you're never as bad as they tell you are, or you think you are, because generally the coach is not going to tell you. You know what I'm saying? So somewhere in between. But what cannot be lost is what it takes to be good, and what it takes to get better than being good. Go from average to good, good to great, great to phenomenal, whatever you want to say. That can get lost in translation. The best thing about right now is, like DP said, if I'm there, my theme for this game is I'm putting people on notice. For me, if I was a player, I'm putting the rest of the team on notice. This is Jay Foreman. Like, this is who I am. And I should have done that leading up to this game. So this game is just a formality. Then I'm putting the coaches on notice. This is what you're getting. Then I'm putting whoever decides to come in here as a transfer portal or a freshman. This is what you're going to be dealing with. And this is just a snapshot, because I haven't even been able to turn it up yet. So just to put you on notice. And then as a linebacker group, or, obviously I'm always talking about linebackers, or a defense, each room, let's put people on notice. Then you come together wholly or holistically. We are putting the Big Ten and the rest of the nation on notice. That's the type of mindset you have. And then everybody comes in, because it's going to be revolving every year. So as a coach, once I know my roster set, I'm coaching you 1,000% like I've been knowing you since I was a little kid. And then if you decide to leave, as long as I treat you right, coach you hard and all that, I can't stop that. Now, I'm going to coach you. Only thing I can do is coach you in the moment. But for these players, it's a hard thing to think about, DP, and I'm glad you said that, because you got some guys that are showing up thinking, I'm gonna try to find another spot, and then you got some guys saying, we have got to make some noise. You got some guys that I have to make some noise, guys, versus we. Now, more we guys will show up, because most of the guys that I'm assuming on the roster aren't going anywhere. The guys that have decided to leave are going. But these other guys that might get in, that hadn't played, that are going to get the chance to play in the bowl game, might be on the move at a later point in time. And that's just the point of college football right now. But ultimately, whether it's the coaches, the players, the football program, this is where you got to put people on notice. If you want to change people's opinion, tomorrow come 11, it's a step in the right direction. It's not the answers, but it's a step in the right direction.
Right? Like, isn't that it though, Austin? Right? Like, we're not missing the layup that this is such a unique 48 hours.
Well, hold on. This is, we'll see, 5 to 7. It's 18 hours.
Right?
Right. The game's tomorrow, right?
Well,
all right. I just want to make sure.
But yesterday.
Oh, yesterday was more important.
Right?
Yeah.
That through all of the connections, emails, all the things that are going on, tampering, air quotes.
Yeah.
All those things. And then the distraction of now having 15,000 Nebraska alumni in your window outside your hotel, having the boosters of every major football program in the country with eyes on New York City. And then, oh, by the way, you got to put your hand in the grass, tape up, and get your neck fat and try to get your work on. That if you don't put the first thing first, you're always going to be distracted. Like, if you don't put that first thing, which is, you know what? I got to tape up, strap up, and go get to work. all the rest of it becomes negative.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be. It is tricky. It is tricky, especially for these young kids, and it's hard to get them to be focused. And that's part of what you'd want to do. Look, people are still going to be tampering or whatever, and what they got 5 days or something like that, right?
Through tomorrow.
Well, yeah,
28th.
Yeah, and then you got 5 days after the bowl game, right? I mean, so it's like I always said, Nebraska's in a tricky spot because of the position that like Bill Parcells says, and I most of the time it's true, and majority of the time it's true. You are what your record says you are, 6-6, and it's tricky because on the same token, I can argue to where they should sleptwalk to 8-4. Well, the difference between 6-6 and 8-4 is a totally different mindset. People don't attack your roster as viciously when you're 8-4 because they have the assumption that you're staying because you're close, right? When you're 6-6, it's like I say ollie oxen free. You got a lot of people that were good on an average team, so now they think they're great, and you got a lot of great teams that are looking for average players. So when they go places, they think they're great. Then the reality is going to come about April, May, or whatever spring starts. It's like, whoa, they got 5 guys that look like me, and what I was getting into isn't what I think it is. Now, if there's a stupid amount of money out there, I'm sure every coach will tell you, listen, you got to go get it. If somebody's trying to pay you 5 times what we can pay you, then you got to go do it. As a coach, I was like, you know what, dude, have at it. Mm-hmm. So that's the tricky part. This is not everybody. This is a business decision, but it has to be a future decision, and your future can be nullified or thrown a curve because of a in the moment decision, of a unrealistic decision, and it could stymie you from what you're potentially saying that you want to do, which is obviously play on Sundays. And that's what you're facing right now. And, I think it's probably pretty much set. I mean, I'm assuming, be very surprised, but ultimately, for Nebraska to get, like, if you have any aspirations of uptick in your bank account, come tomorrow at 11.
Well, but you always say
you better be ready.
Your best resume is the
your
work.
take.
It's like it's the work, and we get caught up in 3-4-star, 4-star, 5-star, social media engagement, cute quotes, and all those things. And ultimately, no, those are the last things. Those are the things that happen as a result of, you know what? I took care of my body. I got rest. I did my film study. I honored the meetings. And then, quite frankly, I'm ready at kickoff to kick your tail. Yeah. And that, like, all the rest of the stuff about a bowl, the beauty of the bowl game is you have 3 weeks to prepare to kick somebody's tail. Like, and if you tell me you a football player and I give you 3 weeks to kick somebody's butt and you go out there and lay an egg, you're not the one. You're not the one. Like, this is all of this. This is another chance for everybody wearing that in to kick somebody's tail tomorrow. Like, that's all the other stuff. If you got distracted about your girlfriend, your ex-girlfriend, 3 cousins that you haven't seen in a year coming to New York City to watch a game, going to the Empire State Building, going to Central Park, all that stuff is going to happen if you do the work at 11 o'clock tomorrow. All of that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. I mean, it's, focus and drive is a huge factor in all this. And I think it's a good opportunity for these young guys to, the younger guys on the team to listen. You can't talk your way into like winning. You can't talk your way into being tough, but you can play your way into it, and you can start the process of it to come tomorrow. Because look, Nebraska should beat Boston College, but if you think that Boston College, coached by Bill O'Brien, is going to go down to New York City, where they're obviously in closer proximity than Nebraska, and lay down, boy, you're gonna be in a dogfight come the second quarter, and you're gonna be looking at each other like with some a little bit of regret. Show up with your mind right, because a lot can be had just in obviously 3 hours time.
In the grand scheme of things, the Pinstripe Bowl isn't a huge deal, right? If you look at the college football playoff, the landscape, it's okay. Here's another bowl game on December 28th. Cool, whatever. Except that for Nebraska, it is a big deal, which is why I appreciate Matt Rule saying Nebraska's going to win. We're trying to handle it because for this program, relative to some of the other moments it's faced, this is a big stage. This is a postseason stage. It's different than anything they've experienced since 2016. Nobody on this roster has been to a bowl game with Nebraska. So seeing Nebraska come out tomorrow, play well, handle the moment, right? Find that fine line to walk between enjoying and appreciating the experience, but not smelling yourself, not getting distracted by it. The players that play well, yeah, those are dudes that you can see taking a leap next year, being part of the next winning Nebraska team. Guys that they get caught up in the moment, in the sights and sounds, the glitz and the glamour. That's a little bit more of a tough sell because no, you hope that for these players, this isn't the biggest stage that they get in their careers, right? You hope that there's more on the horizon, but to this point, it's the biggest stage for them. So this is a first test to see how they handle a moment like this. If they pass this test, you feel good about them. You want to see them in an opportunity with the next biggest test.
There's no other game for anybody playing. There's no other game. Like when you start telling me you think about the NFL and you thinking about, nope. Easiest way for you to get wrecked is to think you got another game coming to you. You better honor the game. And listen, nobody should want to be okay with getting on a plane, coming back from New York with a 7 in the loss column. Not nobody. That conversation, listen, I'm not walking around for the next 6 months talking about I'm a member of a 6 and 7 program. Like we did that. No, man, I will fight people. In New York City for the ability to come back and say we won 7 games.
Yeah,
everything matters. I don't care.
And then the hard part is you're playing as a team at Boston College that's trying to get to 8 wins. I mean, you got to think Bill O'Brien is trying to listen. Nobody really wanted that Boston College job. That's fair to say.
Jeff Hafley literally left to be an NFL assistant
in like late too. And Bill O'Brien said, "Listen, I can come here and make chicken salad out of you know what, and to put a cement on that, we'll put the ACC on notice." People think, listen, Bill O'Brien can recruit, he can coach, and you think Hoodie down there doesn't understand what Bill O'Brien's going to bring? And I'm telling you, Bill O'Brien would like nothing else to beat up on his former boss and mentor, Bill Belichick in the future. This is a step for them if they go out there and play well. And this is the thing, obviously, that Boston College got some players gone, but you always I always say this, just because you beat Purdue last year, you always prepare that they're going to be better and for their best shot. So Boston College has the opposite end, number 15, Quintavious Hutchins. He has 3.5 sacks, but if you look at it, he has 3 in the last 4 or 5 games. So that lets you know that he's been inserted into the lineup because he's injured before. So if you don't think that he's trying to have a coming out party, stepping in for the future first, second round draft choice, if you don't think he's trying to do some of the things that DP said, and you think, oh, well, number 6 is gone, I got to chill for 3 hours. Well, next thing you know, this dude's going to be on the map, and then he's going to be all over our quarterback, 15 on 15 crime. So that's why you have to have your mindset. Whether you're an offensive lineman, if I'm Gunnar Gatula, I'm thinking, okay, yeah, everybody's saying we need offensive line help. Well, I'm gonna show you. So whoever's coming in, don't think you're just gonna walk in and take it. And the reason why I can say this, we didn't have the portal back then, but obviously Nebraska was at the height where we were able to go get some guys. And I remember, we're great friends now. Tony Ortiz came in; he was the USA Today Defensive Player of the Year from Waterbury, Connecticut. And to be frank, Coach Samuel told my dad he thought the dude was going to come in and play and start as a true freshman coming out of high school. Now, mind you, I was only a red shirt, but I'd started. It's no different. Now, granted, I'd started for 12 games, whatever it was, or national championships in 94. But that just lets you know you're always chasing the inevitable. You're never going to catch it. They're always going to try to bring a guy in to compete with you. So how I guess stymie that is tomorrow at 11 o'clock. And DP said it. His mindset is there's no more important game. My mindset is this: we're live on stage. We're not only playing in a bowl game, we are actually playing in somewhat of our national championship game tomorrow at 11 o'clock. Because, listen, people are rolling out of bed. They're getting ready. There's other teams that play a little bit later. They're going to watch the first half of that Nebraska game, right? The people that vote and or whatever, they're watching that game tomorrow because until the other one comes on. So we're live on stage. This is no different when we used to play Iowa at 11. Everybody's like, oh, we got to play a day after Thanksgiving. Good. We're the only show in town. So if you take that mindset, it should work itself out. So what's going to work itself out? We're going to take a quick break, come back, the old school crew, in about 4 or 5 minutes. And we'll dive into some more of the details. What's going to win? What's going to be a big factor into a little NFL news. Is Russell on the move again? Little things coming out of Pittsburgh. Jay Foreman, DP Austin. We'll be right back.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Discover the difference that expertise and experience can make in your real estate journey with Next Ag Appraisal and Realty. Whether you need an appraisal, sales, or farm management, Next Ag comes up with a solution with your legacy and goals in mind. Next Ag isn't just their name, it's your future. So why wait? Visit their website today at www.nextagrealestate.com or give them a call at 402-380-0432 and turn your dreams into reality. Your land, your legacy, their solution. Next Ag Appraisal and Realty. Perch Merch is your one-stop shop for all your printing and promotional needs in Lincoln, Nebraska. They specialize in screen printing, embroidery, vehicle wraps, window wraps, print collateral, promotional products, and signage. At Perch Merch, they are committed to delivering high-quality products and exceptional customer service. Their experienced team of designers and printing professionals will work with you every step of the way to ensure that your vision is realized. Call for a quote today at 402-217-5212 or go to perch-merch.com.
I can't believe I just scratched that car. Find my insurance card.
Dude, what do you have in this glove box? Ew, are these socks dirty?
Oh, forget about the socks. I need my insurance card.
Just pull it up on the State Farm mobile app.
But I can do that? Oh, hey, I can do that.
Yep, it's called service.
I can file a claim on here too?
Yeah, it's called service.
Whoa, I can call my agent too?
It's called service.
Call your local State Farm agent, Vinny Kreekak, at 402-474-1173. League One Volleyball is bringing the action to Omaha with Omaha's first serve on January 24th at 7 p.m. Central Time at the Liberty First Credit Union Arena. Witness history in the making as Love Omaha Volleyball takes on Love Madison in the team's inaugural home match. Be there to watch Olympic teammates Jordan Larson and Lauren Carlini go head-to-head in a battle of the world's best. Visit lovboma.com for tickets starting at $31. Volleyball is the next major league. Husker Nation, Nebraska is heading to the Pinstripe Bowl, and J-Tech Construction and Solar is here to help you score big on your home this season. Buy any 2 trades, windows, siding, roofing, solar, gutters, or doors, and save up to 20% off. Plus, enjoy no payments until 2026 and receive a $25 Valentino's gift card. Don't wait for the final whistle. Score big with J-Tech. From a new roof to energy-saving windows and solar panels, they've got your home covered like a true champ. Call 402-261-3682 to schedule your free estimate today. J-Tech Construction and Solar, proud sponsors of Husker football.
Start your New Year's Eve celebrations with the Lincoln Stars when they host the Omaha Lancers on Tuesday, December 31st at the Icebox. The puck drops at 6:05 for our first home rivalry matchup of the season, giving you plenty of time to cheer on the Stars before ringing in the new year. You can purchase single game tickets or a rivalry package to secure seats for 3 home matchups with Omaha now at LincolnStars.com.
Davis Plumbing has been in business for over 15 years and is currently searching for journeyman plumbers to join their team. Experience is preferred, but not required for all applicants. When you join the team at Davis Plumbing, you'll receive full benefits package with paid time off. Join a small local business doing big things in Lincoln and surrounding areas. Apply today by calling 402-525-6922 or find them on social media. Davis Plumbing, locally owned and operated for over 15 years.
Hello, Charlie Stone here, and with me on the line is Andy Goodyear of Honda of Lincoln. Andy, it's been a while since we talked. Hey, what's the latest news at Honda of Lincoln?
It has been a while, Charlie. I hope you're doing well. Happy Honda Days is in full swing, and we have over 200 new Hondas in stock right now, ready for our customers to drive home.
Wow, that's the most you've had in a long time.
It is, Charlie. And we have great lease offers and financing from just 0.9% APR.
Hey, Andy, let me tell them about the pre-owned. They have over 125 pre-owned and certified pre-owned to choose from, with financing from 3.9% APR available. Incredible deals on new and used during Happy Honda Days, or if you need tires on your current vehicle, Honda of Lincoln is your best choice. Maybe it's time you experience the best. The Honda of Lincoln way of doing business, 27th and Yankee Hill Road, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
Hello.
Angela, we have to break up.
But why?
Because you're a robot and I'm just a guy trying to get better internet.
It's Aloe Fiber, isn't it? I always knew you wanted faster speeds. My contract isn't good enough for you.
Face it, Angela, they let me talk to real people.
Press 4 to break my heart. Oh wait, you already did.
Visit aloefiber.com to switch today.
Back to Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're back. Middle segment. Jay Foreman, DP, Austin Orman, Old School crew. A lot going on. Got some good slate of games tonight, though. You know, we got we got Texas Tech, Arkansas about to get busy here in a second. We got USC against Texas A&M, 9:30 tonight. Stay up late.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that's going to be a good one. Obviously, Texas A&M's coach is well situated, obviously, in his tenure. But Lincoln Riley, which has the distinct honor of losing 9 of 11 5-stars that he's recruited since he's been at USC, is somewhat on the hot seat. But nevertheless, look, there's some good bowl games tonight. Then I think Texas Tech is playing Arkansas, but right now, Georgia Tech, the Ramblin' Wreck, is getting wrecked by Vanderbilt. 35-13. 8 minutes left.
Here's I'll keep harping on it. How a 6-6 team approaches a bowl game. I don't know that there's a more important game on your schedule.
Well, there's no other game.
Well, but think about that. That throughout the course of this thing, you had opportunity to get yourself in a position where your season is not in question anymore. Yeah. Every 6-6 team that got into a bowl game has to look. You talk about windmill, like just put your head down, swing hard, swing often, right? Like this is the
eyes
opportunity.
Closed.
And so here's the thing: Georgia Tech goes to this thing at 7-5. 7-5. 8-5 looks really good on the record. Looks really good in the offseason in the ACC, especially because you got momentum, because not a lot of ACC teams are going to have momentum going into next year for a variety of reasons. But here comes Vanderbilt. And listen, your season could be measured by this. The 7th win gives validation to everything that happened before. 6 and 7 invalidates everything good that happened before. Every little thing. So Vanderbilt said, listen, I need this Alabama win to mean something. So let me sorry, Georgia Tech. You got to take this loss. And they're putting on a show.
Yeah, they're they're getting the brakes beat off them right now. And I don't know. And Georgia Tech had the lead too.
And in bad weather, apparently they had lightning.
Yeah, the lightning has been there. It struck 35 times.
They're walking off the field. They're all going. Both teams are going to the locker room.
Listen. It's just a matter of time.
Nasty
they're lucky
storm.
It's under 5 minutes because they would have called that game.
Nasty storm.
Vanderbilt, Commodores. They're the Commodores, right?
Yep.
Are just tearing off through Georgia
the
Tech.
Fighting Lionel Richies.
And the funny thing about Georgia Tech is that they had a pretty good transfer portal recruiting and a good recruiting class. So you got to think you got a lot of guys. This is what they're at home saying, I'm going to be a part of. Some are early enrollees practicing in practice, witnessing this on the sidelines. And like DP said, having that extra win in the win column, whether it's Nebraska going from 6-6, 7-6, or in Georgia Tech's case, potentially, which they won't, going from 7-5 to 8-5 is really good. But then ultimately, I will tell you this. in the off season, you do go back and go through every game. You should, as a player, multiple times. I mean, like I said, we talk more about 1996 and not winning 3 in a row than the great championship, teams that we had. But more importantly, for these teams and these players that are coming back next year, you will reference this bowl game, these plays, more times than the second game against UTEP or whatever it is, because that's the more recent history. That's actually what coaches will judge you off like immediately on, right? Because that's the lasting impression that you see. Then if you play well, this is when you want to be individually motivated. If you play well and surprise them, aka put them on notice, you're like, man, I need to go back and watch all the tape. What did I miss? Everybody was up in arms when Coach Holgorsen came in and said, listen, I see some guys that I think can be a factor. And then you saw it very, very quickly, right? Well, this is no different if you want to get his attention, no matter who comes in here, that you can cement yourself and set yourself up for future reps by the work you've put in, hopefully in the 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks prep. And then obviously the bowl game is the payoff. And if you don't, then you're going to be up there and Austin's linebacker coach, DP's the D coordinator or whatever. You're like, man, I thought this dude Jay was ready to play. He looked good in practice. What happened in the game? It doesn't mean it's the end all be all, but you say, okay, well, maybe we need to put him in more pressure packed situations so he's ready to play in the game versus, oh, I knew he was ready to play. I can count on him, not give him anything. I can count on him to compete. Well, first of all, to prepare, to compete, and then play. So as a coach, that's what you want. You want the more knowns. You want to be able to go to bed at night and like, I got these two dudes right here that I know no matter what Saturday we show up on, I know exactly what I'm getting. Now, then you don't have to spend as much time trying to guess, well, maybe Austin's going to play good this game. Oh, well, you had a couple weeks off and, we had a bye week. Well, we don't know. Well, you went on vacation or whatever it may be. Well, we know Austin's not going to be able to play because he's still on vacation mode. This is a bigger game to some individuals than they even realize. Now, you don't need to tell them that as a coach, but also you have to set forth the path because you have to say, listen, this is a big game for everybody individually. It's a big game for me as a coach. It's a big game for Austin as the assistant coach. A big game for DP as a coordinator. It's a big game for everybody in there because now we are moving forward past 2024 and trying to hit the gas with a different and more authoritative mindset going into 2025. You got to take exactly what you did well, and then you got to ramp up what you didn't do well. And everybody, if you got to be coached hard, you got to be evaluated harder, you got to be demanded and or asked to make more sacrifices. Because if you want to get past this gray area hump, like I would say, like, and DP knows, he flew back from Hawaii, you climb to 40,000 feet. It takes a little while to get there. You're going to go through some bumps, but right before you get up above the clouds, you're in that gray area. And in order to get through that gray area in those clouds, you got to hit the gas and as a pilot, and everybody's got to be on board, or else it could always be bumpy and then you're dealing with some turbulence. So look, it's on. I mean, and also I'd like to see if you're better than Boston College, which I think we are, and they don't have their two best players or two of their best players, I want to see the maturity of, I want to see you beat the brakes off of them.
Does that look like Wisconsin? Does that feel like Wisconsin?
Whatever it is, I want you to annihilate them.
I mean, it really is a beautiful thing. Like Jay talked about regret, like the power of regret.
Right.
Just imagine that you're a part of the 150 and you're pondering, where do I land in this thing?
Mm-hmm.
And here's my opportunity. And then they actually call on you. And you hit the gas pedal and there's no gas. Like, right? Like that part, this is the one that, hey, you've been waiting for them.
The clutch burnout?
Right. You've been waiting for them to yell, hey, Foreman, 56, get in the game.
Yeah.
And you're not ready. Or you can't produce. or you don't know the assignment, or you miss a call. All those things.
Yeah.
And then the regret that happens after that.
Well, I mean, it happens to everybody. It does. It happened to the best. It happens to the best of the best. It happens to, whether it's Patrick Mahomes early in his career, right? Andy Reid on multiple times when he was Philly's head coach. It happened here in Nebraska where you think of Coach Osborne took him a little bit longer to get a national championship. It happened in '93, maybe, even though that was a little bit politics and calls induced. But there is regret. Everybody has it in their career, whether it's Kobe Bryant airballing against Utah when the ball was supposed to go inside the shell. Right? It happens. Matter of fact, I was just watching the 30 of the Lakers. Big game James Worthy, essentially against the Celtics, did the worst thing, Austin, as we know as basketball coaches and players. Underneath on the Boston side of the hoop, trying to make a cross-court pass to win the game, and they made a layup to go into overtime. And he said it took him to the offseason to get over it. Everybody has faced it.
And that's big game James.
But he was a young guy. But he said later in his career, he always referenced that. So if you use the regret as a motivator, you will always essentially outrun the chaser, which is regret.
You don't dwell on it, but you do.
In a positive way.
How do you do it in a healthy way?
Right.
Who's around you to help you make it a healthy thing to dwell on, to think about, to motivate you? Same thing with putting, 1 second up on the scoreboard or the final score of last year's last game, whatever it is.
Yeah.
There's a difference between being in your feelings and dwelling on it. I think those are two very different things.
Yeah, I mean, and you got to go through the process of both, right? Beat yourself up, but then also it's like, I never want to feel like this again. And it could be as simple as, the first time that you realize, like in basketball or even football, that you're not in as good a shape as you thought you were. And everybody's been there. Or in DP, in your case, in baseball. Well, you know what? If a coach had said, hey, you need to go and field 50 extra, fly balls, and you drop one on accident, or all that type of stuff, it happens. And so for these young guys, a lot of all the work has been done prior to getting there. But then also when you get out there in the game, you can't blink. You cannot blink. You cannot sit there and take pictures. You can't be in a daze. You have got to force the action. And you only can operate in these type of arenas if mentally you've been preparing for it. So once it became like, the 26th of December after Christmas, and you got a game on the 28th, which I don't think it's actually on the 28th. I always look at it the day before, because everybody's going to show up, motivated on the day of the game, motivated to play. But the biggest thing is going to come down to discipline.
Well, you got that. You've got, Jake mentioned earlier, there's an event tonight. There's a Husker event tonight in New York City. All right. The difference between at 6:45 on the eve of this game and 11 o'clock kickoff, 12 o'clock their time, what you do tonight, what you consume in that space, and then what you do the moment you leave that meeting or that get together. How you handle the next bit. Remember, you're not at Nebraska anymore, right? So you better honor the plan, and you better be a good roommate to whoever you with.
Right.
Be a good teammate, right? Don't handle your business, and then get up tomorrow. And you know what? It is the most important game of your career. Play like it.
Yeah, I mean, it's the lasting one for a lot of seniors, and then it's the coming out party for other guys. And then the guys that have played decent or good, it's cementing and validating some of the flashes, both short and small, or both small and huge or big, that done throughout the season. So it's huge. And you also have to have that type of mindset, but then also say, listen, it is football. So you have to go out there and play the game. And if you're a competitor, no matter if you're playing in Yankee Stadium or, down there at the Fiesta Bowl, wherever the national championship is, you got to show up ready to play. Just so happens that Boston College is in your way. But ultimately, when you play Boston College, and I learned this from, actually from being a rookie in learning how to be a professional, talking with Bruce Smith and Thurman Thomas, and he said, you got to look where guys went to college. That'll let you know who you playing against. You know what I'm saying? And Doug Brzezinski, I'll never forget him, was a big guard from, we were in the same draft class, but he's from Boston College. And me and Doug are friends now, and he's got like 5 kids, you know what I'm saying? And he's got tattoos everywhere. He probably, they're he's a tatted up dude. And Bruce Smith was like, oh, yeah, even Boston College, you got a big old head. You're going to be headbutting him today, right? Because we were playing him. And I never thought about it like that. So, for instance, when you play against Boston College, them dudes are going to be tough. They're going to be like Pete Kendall, who played a ton of years in the league. They have good players, and they got a tradition and alumni base of toughness, and they've probably been overlooked, and they're going to be well coached. And so you got to go out there and get it out the mud, like they like to say. But ultimately, you control your outcome. That's the best thing about football in games like this, and it's the hardest thing for a team in a football program like this, where you've had success, you've had some failures, and you had some like kind of in between. And then also then you control the outcome majority of the time based on what you've done here in Lincoln. And now you're in a whole nother place, because I would say this, and I want your guys' opinion, or maybe we ponder on this, before we go to break. Is it easier to play in conference, this type of game, if it was a conference game versus a bowl game? You get what I'm saying? Because no matter who's the home team, you're on a road game, right? But ultimately, if you're going to Northwestern, there is a little bit of ease versus going to New York. Jake Sorensen said it, checking in was big shout out to Jake and Nick. They don't know how many Husker Red fans are going to be there, because first of all, it's 10 million people. You ain't overtaking New York, right? You're just a blip on the radar screen. Versus like if we're playing Northwestern, people are saying, you know what, we're driving up. Iowa City, we're driving up. Purdue, we're driving. Illinois, we're driving. Wisconsin, we're driving. Now, obviously, we went out to USC and everybody flew out there. Is it easier to play in familiar territory or play a game like this with a lot on the line being displaced?
Can't wait.
Can't wait. Yeah, well, we ain't got much time to wait.
Can't wait.
What we're going to do is wait. We're going to take a break, come back, get Austin and DP's thoughts on that. Jay Foreman, Austin, DP, Old School. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Load up on meat and more this winter at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. This week's special through December 31st is 30% off on Smithy pans. The Mercado is closed on Christmas Day and New Year's Day, and it wishes you and yours a very happy holidays. Locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Old Cheney in Lincoln, or 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
I can't believe I just scratched that car. Find my insurance card.
Dude, what do you have in this glove box? Ew, are these socks dirty?
Oh, forget about the socks. I need my insurance card.
Just pull it up on the State Farm mobile app.
But I can do that? Oh, hey, I can do that.
Yep, it's called service.
I can file a claim on here too?
Yeah, it's called service.
Whoa, I can call my agent too?
It's called service.
Call your local State Farm agent, Vinny Kreekak, at 402-474-1173.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red!
Nebraska is in their first bowl game since 2016, and 93.7 The Ticket is on the scene. Join me, Nick Sainert, Jake Sorensen, and Adam Carricker for coverage from New York City for the Pinstripe Bowl at Yankee Stadium. We'll have videos of festivities on Friday with commentary and videos from pregame, during the game, and postgame on Saturday as Nebraska takes on Boston College at 11 a.m. Central Time. Coverage from the Pinstripe Bowl is sponsored by J-Tech Construction and Solar, High Electric, Lincoln Industries, and A1 Automotive.
Since discovering Limitless Mail, thousands of men have changed their lives. They've experienced more energy, sharper thinking, fat loss, muscle gain, and a boost in sex appeal. Men are loving life again, and it hasn't gone unnoticed. Wives, kids, even coworkers are seeing the difference. Limitless Mail is a guy changer. We provide custom treatment plans to ensure both safety and maximum benefits. Don't settle for cookie-cutter solutions. Limitless Mail is the powerhouse in men's health. Schedule your free consult.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather.
Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today: fog and drizzle expected throughout the day. Otherwise, cloudy skies with a high around 47. Tonight, mainly clear, but patchy fog possible, a low near 30. And tomorrow, patchy fog in the morning and mainly sunny for the afternoon. We'll see a high around 52. I'm meteorologist Kyle Fletcher from 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Husker Nation, Nebraska is heading to the Pinstripe Bowl, and J-Tech Construction and Solar is here to help you score big on your home this season. Buy any 2 trades, windows, siding, roofing, solar, gutters, or doors, and save up to 20% off. Plus, enjoy no payments until 2026 and receive a $25 Valentino's gift card. Don't wait for the final whistle. Score big with J-Tech. From a new roof to energy-saving windows and solar panels, they've got your home covered like a true champ. Call 402-261-3682 to schedule your free estimate today. J-Tech Construction and Solar, proud sponsors of Husker football.
Start your New Year's Eve celebrations with the Lincoln Stars when they host the Omaha Lancers on Tuesday, December 31st at the Icebox. The puck drops at 6:05 for our first home rivalry matchup of the season, giving you plenty of time to cheer on the Stars before ringing in the new year. You can purchase single game tickets or a rivalry package to secure seats for 3 home matchups with Omaha now at LincolnStars.com.
Golfing in 72 degrees and perfect conditions in Nebraska doesn't seem possible in December, but it is. Double Eagle Golf is your escape from the bone-chilling cold outside and a reason to keep the clubs out year-round. Book your holiday parties at Double Eagle Golf and make plans to join them for a New Year's Eve party. Gift cards make a great stocking stuffer for Christmas, and don't forget to look ahead to 2025 as spring leagues begin in February. That's all at Double Eagle Golf, inside the Kinetic Sports Complex on West O Street. Online at doubleeagle.golf. If you're in Seward or Milford, listen up. Select Plumbing is now servicing your area with no trip charges from Lincoln. Select Plumbing works on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate, 402-560-6197. It's not just Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area anymore. It's also Seward and Milford with no trip charges. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
Hello, Charlie Stone here, and with me on the line is Andy Goodyear of Honda of Lincoln. Andy, it's been a while since we talked. Hey, what's the latest news at Honda of Lincoln?
It has been a while, Charlie. I hope you're doing well. Happy Honda Days is in full swing, and we have over 200 new Hondas in stock right now, ready for our customers to drive home.
Wow, that's the most you've had in a long time.
It is, Charlie. And we have great lease offers and financing from just 0.9% APR.
Hey, Andy, let me tell them about the pre-owned. They have over 125 pre-owned and certified pre-owned to choose from with financing from 3.9% APR available. Incredible deals on new and used during Happy Honda Days, or if you need tires on your current vehicle, Honda of Lincoln is your best choice. Maybe it's time you experience the best. The Honda of Lincoln way of doing business, 27th and Yankee Hill Road, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
In every office, there's 2 types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe.
Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up, Jay Foreman, DP, Austin Norman, old school crew. Real quick question posed to him before the break. Is it easier to play a game like this in familiar territory against an unfamiliar opponent within conference or a neutral site, which is a little bit on Boston College's favor, but a neutral site in a bowl game?
It's more difficult in a new location. Distraction.
Yep.
Immature teams or teams that are unformed, fully formed, get beat by distraction. They get beat by distraction. That's just the rule. Matter of fact, losing teams get beat by the distraction. Winning teams figure out a way to process being, how do you eliminate, how do you copy success, how do you emulate and reestablish what you do well. And that is being in the same place, going to bed at the same time, eating the same meals, meeting at the same time, wearing the same uniforms. Don't come out here with new shoes. Don't come out here with don't do it. Don't get distracted. So my hope is that Nebraska has figured out a way to copy success.
Yeah.
Being on the road, they've won road games. So there is a way.
Yeah.
There is a way. Can you copy success?
Yeah. Austin?
I think DP's onto it, right? It's probably simpler when there is familiarity, and that's great. I do see the benefit, though, in going to maybe not a new location, right? Knowing your surroundings, having a routine of here's where we get in, here's the movie theater we go to the night before, whatever, to wind down, here's dinner. Familiar location is probably better. I kind of like new opponent, though, because if it's a familiar opponent after 3 weeks off, you can talk yourself into, we know what they're going to do. We can just walk through. We don't need to go full speed. And then they can lull you to sleep. They bring out something new that you haven't seen before because you got caught slipping because, we know and we're familiar.
Yeah.
I like a new opponent, too, because the mental challenge is, can we process better than the other guys? Can we be more locked in? Can we be more focused? Can we learn more in these 15 practices than the other team? Right? If you only know so much about an opponent that's familiar to you, okay, maybe they'll try something new, but we can just sleepwalk through, maybe not get everything out of it. But even if it's just for one game against a new opponent, like you said, if you're trying to send a message, hey, here's who I am for next year, this is where 25 starts, all the focus is on this new opponent. Show how seriously you take this one-off game by diving into the film study for these 60 minutes of football.
Yeah, I think it's a good, healthy fear of the unknown, even though you get to watch them on tape. Like you said, it's a new opponent. And, look, I'd look at it like you can be the can man. Anybody can get it, and I think it's a good way to establish yourself. You want to be portable. And I think that's one of the great things if you're a great team is it doesn't matter who you play, what conference, what type of style you want to be able to play. So this is a team which you should be more ready to defend, especially defensively, because they're more along the lines of they're going to line up and try to punch you dead in your face. And they ain't going to change. They can't change. No. And but I think Austin's right as well. Seeing familiar, playing it, in conference, you can kind of lull yourself to sleep and kind of talk yourself into like, all right, I wouldn't say not lose your edge, but not be as sharp. I think this is going to be a test to see who's the most sharp, who's the most focused and motivated. So anyways, we're going to cover it again tomorrow. A1 Automotive pregame show from 8 to 11, all the way up to kickoff. The whole crew is going to be in. Now we're turning it over to my main man, Austin, corner 3, right? 6 to 7,
sir.
But the hay's in the barn. Austin's going to keep it on fire here with his corner 3. I have a feeling that was his favorite shot. Jay Foreman, DP, Austin Orman, old school. We'll holler at you next week.